Hey, welcome back, everyone. You already know what it is. This is the Ball Knowers podcast. My name is Zach. I got Justin and Joller here. Merry belated Christmas and an early Happy New Year for everyone out there. Hopefully, everyone had a safe and fun holiday week. There was some football on Christmas, which was fun. Santa brought me a PS5, so I've been grinding out my guns on Black Ops 6. You already know. Add
Christmas
me if you
game.
want. Add me if you want the smoke. But other than that, I had a great Christmas with my family, my wife, and my daughter. Did you gentlemen have a enjoyable Christmas with you and yours?
I did. I'm still cleaning up cardboard, cutting down cardboard boxes.
Yep.
I've been doing that for weeks. Uh, yeah, no, it was a good time. Low key, kid got like a bunch of stuff. My house officially looks like there's a toddler now. I just got toys everywhere, every square inch of the living room. So
You have the kitchen, man.
yeah, I got that kitchen. I think it's hardcore. It's got like stainless steel pans, and it's authentic, man. It's yeah, I'm in deep. So it's fun.
And Justin got a dog for Christmas, so that's even fucking up your living room even more.
I think that's
Yeah, dude.
self-inflicted. That's self-inflicted, though.
Uh, well, no, because I mean Logan wanted it, but yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been just exactly how you guys said it was gonna be. So
I
that's why
wouldn't
I
lie
texted
to
you. I
you.
said, I said, like, how fucked am I now? I didn't
Fucked.
realize. Yeah,
I love my dog, but man, those first couple months, or whatever, whew,
dude, I'm
it's like
outside
a
like
Uphill
every 10
battle.
minutes, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll
You
dude.
got a
bring
little
him, bring
puppy
him
Get up,
guy,
man.
outside.
both.
I br Dude, I'll bring him outside, out there for like 30 minutes, come right back inside. He wants to pop a squat. I'm like, oh my God,
You're like,
dude.
dude, go. You were just out there for fucking 20 minutes. Gonna take a shit right there. Dude, never fails, man. Never fails.
Yeah.
But excited to talk some football. As we know, this is week 17 coming to an end. Kind of look through some of the games that we missed. Recap the games that you may have missed over the holiday weekend, and then kind of look what's ahead for that final week 18 regular season week. But just kind of go through the games for everyone real quick. I'm going to kind of blow through some of the ones that obviously didn't really matter. I want to kind of get into those really good matchups that meant something. The Christmas games were between four teams that are all in the playoffs. However, none of them were close. It was Kansas City at Pittsburgh on Christmas. It was close at halftime, and then Kansas City kind of pulled away at the end. KC wins 29-10, and they'll be sitting out their all of their starters next week. And then Baltimore at Houston, which was an absolute shellacking. Houston got a safety in this game, and that was it. Baltimore destroys them 31-2. Although Beyonce did have a halftime performance, which was pretty badass. My daughter enjoyed that. But two games on Christmas. Fun. Was hoping there'd be more fun to watch and exciting close games. Obviously, I picked Pittsburgh to upset Kansas City at home, and they did not. I think Patrick had his Mahomes had his first 300-yard passing game, maybe second at the most 300-yard passing game against a tough Steelers defense. Moving on the next day, another trash one, dude. That Thursday night prime one. Seattle Seahawks trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, going to visit Chicago Bears, and it was 6-3. The most baseball ass Seattle Mariners, Chicago White Sox ass fucking score. 6-3. Seattle leaves with the win. Unfortunately, their playoff hopes ended with the Rams winning. Saturday, we had some
Didn't
Saturday
watch that
football.
whole game.
Oh God,
Oh,
Did it for the podcast for the commitment to the craft, dude. It was
remember to the
a long game. Probably one of the longest, worst games I've watched in recent memory. Worse than the Joe
yeah, it
Flacco Thursday night Colts game like 2 years ago. Or what was it? Was it
was
last
Matt
year?
Ryan.
Oh, no.
First off,
Sorry.
it was Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson. Thursday night football went to overtime, no touchdowns. And I watched that one, the entire thing. So yeah, Thursday night, Seattle gets the win 6-3 over Caleb Williams in Chicago. And we did have 3 Saturday games. The first morning one, I caught a little bit of it. Chargers were up big and kind of stayed up big the whole time. Chargers win 40-7 to clinch their playoff spot. The middle game, which I think was one of the best ones, if not the best of the entire week. Denver at Cincinnati. I'll put a pin in this one since I definitely we'll talk about this one since all three of us watched majority, if not the entire thing. So I'll leave the score blank, but we'll put a pin in that one. And then final game on Saturday, the Arizona Cardinals go and visit the Rams. Rams win 13-9 off a last minute, pretty crazy interception at the end. So Kyler Murray gets picked off in the end zone on a potentially game winning drive. LA wins, and they, I believe, won their division after the results from yesterday. Yeah. Okay, if Buffalo won big, that's why. And finally, Sunday slate, a lot of I'll be honest, pretty trash games. Some really, really good teams beating up on some really shitty teams. And the rest of the games were shitty teams playing against shitty teams that didn't matter. First one, Jets going to Buffalo. Josh Allen against Aaron Rodgers gets destroyed 40-14. It wasn't even close. There was a garbage touchdown at the end to give them that extra 14 points or to give them that extra score. Buffalo wins easy. Vegas and New Orleans. Vegas wins pretty confidently, 25-10. Aiden O'Connell looks pretty strong. Brock Bowers actually breaks the rookie tight end record set by the great Mike Ditka for receiving yards. My Colts go to East Rutherford, and for whatever reason, Drew Lock decides to become freaking 2009 Tom Brady / Peyton Manning and just goes fucking off. New York puts up 45 points and wins at home. It's probably the worst game they could have done because they lose their first round, the first overall pick by winning this game. So Giants win 45-33. We can talk about that one a little bit, just about the whole pick situation. I thought it was kind of funny.
I don't think the last 4 weeks. When was the last time they scored 45 points collectively? Like if you go back, that's how bad the Giants have been.
Next one, Dallas Philly again. Hey, if Philly didn't score those points, Dallas would have won, according to Michael Parsons.
Just those 5 plays.
Yeah, dude.
Crazy,
Philly wins
man.
big. Jalen Hurts, out. Kenny Pickett goes in, and then Kenny Pickett actually goes out with concussion as well. Hopefully Jalen Hurts is okay and is able to play week 18 I think they're fighting for the first seed, right? Or no, Philly's out, so it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
Philly wins big at home 41-7. Tampa Bay beats up on a Carolina team in a must-win game for their division. Tampa Bay wins 48-14. That division's still up for grabs, which is fun. We'll definitely talk about that. Matchup of trash teams, Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jacksonville wins 20-13. Miami at Cleveland. Miami is technically alive in the playoffs. They needed this win. They did 20-3. DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, started the last few weeks for Cleveland. He has the worst touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history. It's 1-10. Is what it is, which is insane. I'm not sure why you would
bench Jameis for that.
Yeah,
we could do that for free, though. They must do that.
Seriously, yeah, 1-10 DTR. UCLA alum, huh? Trash. Another game, a great game. Green Bay at Minnesota. We'll kind of keep that score blank because we'll talk about that one. And then the Sunday night game, Atlanta and Washington, was another great game as well. I watched the majority of this one too. And then Monday night game, in a game that didn't matter, and Detroit at San Francisco. Dan Campbell decides to play all of his best guys despite having 25 people on the IR. And Detroit wins 40-34. Brock Purdy leaves the game with an injury, and Josh Dobbs comes in. Fingers crossed he's okay as he, is looking to get paid next season. So I was kind of on the Week 17 scores, and I kept a few of those blank because I do want to talk about the better ones. The Christmas ones. I mean, Baltimore looked great. Kansas City won. Obviously, Pittsburgh kind of on a slide. I don't know, but do you guys have any thoughts on those Christmas games? I mean, Houston is the worst division winner that I've seen in a long time. I mean, the Colts were bad division winners. Peyton Manning even didn't have the greatest teams, and when they won the division, 6, 7, 8 years in a row. But this team looks bad.
Yeah, they are trending down. I don't even think their fans want them to make the playoffs because they played so bad. They're probably going to get steamrolled first round. Such a disappointing pick earlier in the year. It's my AFC championship game contendee. Yeah, they don't look anything close to a playoff team. I know they play the Ravens, but um, they've
Is
been
that for this
trending
year?
down, and it's just it's not looking good.
Yes, that was for this year. Houston Texans plus 1,200 to be the AFC conference winner.
Wow.
I
Hey, they're still alive.
I bet this February 25th, 2020. This
I
one
mean, it will
could
happen,
rip real
right?
quick. I picked this one too. It's an AFC championship also. My
Oh my
Colts
God. How much is that
Wow.
at,
slip?
at plus 2,800. This one means nothing now. They're officially out. So there goes that. Looked it
Officially.
up live.
It's a good thing we
Um,
waited, though.
I bet that feels good though. It's kind of like, okay,
you know,
they're hoping for that, right?
Like the
yeah,
stages of grief,
You're like,
acceptance, forgiveness.
yeah. Yeah, Houston definitely looks like the worst playoff winning or division winning team. Regardless, they're going to get a free playoff game at home. They're going to lose it. Like, no matter who
well,
comes in.
I don't know, because like if it's Pittsburgh coming in, they've dropped 3 straight. They haven't looked good.
Yes.
Is it possible? Is it possible?
No Tank Dell
It,
because he's not playing for the next 5 years of his life.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel so
true.
bad for
Or
him,
ever.
dude.
He may be out forever.
hmm Dude, he almost lost his leg. There was it's one of those knee injuries. When the blood rushes so bad that they talk about like amputation if they can't save it
Yeah,
fast enough.
yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude, that's bad. Like, you don't
Yeah,
even care about football at that point. You're like, it's like an Alex Smith-esque injury. Alex Smith almost lost his leg too.
It was like an infection thing for him after his like surgery
Mm,
to repair his leg.
it's wild.
But
But yeah, Pittsburgh dropping 3 straight. That is. Oh, wait. Have they
Well,
lost 3 straight?
yeah, that was the stretch we talked about. Those like at Philly, at Baltimore, and then Kansas City at home on Christmas Day. It was gonna be hard to even win one of those, and
Yeah.
they weren't close in any of them.
No. Yeah, I think. I don't know. I think I'd still pick the Steelers over the Texans if they played tomorrow, just because that's how bad Houston's looked.
yeah,
Maybe that's a
no, I
recency
agree.
bias thing, but there's nothing they're oh well they can be really good. Whereas we've
No,
seen
but
Pittsburgh beat the Ravens and they can be really good, right? But I just think
they don't
Houston's that
have to
bad.
be. They may not have to be is the thing.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Thursday game. I mean, kind of means nothing now. Seattle kept their playoff hopes alive, but they're eliminated now. The 6-3. I'm sorry for anyone that watched that game from the beginning to end. I feel bad for Al Michaels and my boy Kirk Herbstreit to have to sit there and watch those abysmal team. I mean, it's weird because Seattle. I mean, Chicago, I get that, but Seattle come over and only score 6 points. Shocking.
Yeah,
Did you know
Turned it
sorry.
Seattle?
on.
I just realized I
I
wasn't
turned it on
there.
when I turned it on when Chicago was about to kick the tying field goal in the second quarter with 2 minutes left. And I didn't realize how far into the game we were. I was thinking it was probably first quarter, 8 minutes left. And I saw it was almost halftime and I turned it off. I was like, this is not it.
No, you could be doing about anything with your time, and it's more productive. I probably had a laundry list of things I had to do, but I said, here,
And you're like, nah,
I'm gonna.
Nicole, I'm sitting down. I want to watch this game. She's like,
I'm
what the
watching
Yeah,
fuck
the
is
six.
this?
I was like, it can wait, okay? This is more important. It definitely wasn't. It was the only enjoyment I got was just seeing how bad the Bears are. Um, that's pretty much it. I mean,
0 points in the second half for both teams is wild.
yeah,
That's insane. Meanwhile, On the flip side, just as a comparison, you have tonight's game, the Lions at Niners, 10 touchdowns total between the two teams, 0 punts.
Damn, that
Yeah.
would be fun.
Just sit there the
See,
whole
good
fucking
day. I
time.
have to do anyway.
Sit there and get paid, dude. Don't gotta do nothing.
They got to do what Caleb Williams told his punter he would be able to do this year.
Dude,
God.
that Lion go down in history, dude. Every
Dude,
once in
that's
a while
good.
it gets brought up, and then someone calculates all the punts in the game per week. There's someone who tracks it per week, and like he's punting like the most.
It's
Yeah.
comedy, dude. He's gonna have that forever until that punter leaves the team or retires. I don't even know who it is.
Or until they
That
actually score consistently.
that line will stay with him forever. You're not gonna punt consistently because I just keep throwing pick sixes. That's all. You'll never punt.
He's like, hey, you're not going to punch too much here. It's like,
okay.
You talk about the Bears.
So yeah, I mean, Seahawks win, cool, 6-3 in a trash MLB box score as fuck game. The Saturday ones, two of them were close. The morning one was not. Chargers, in a win and in playoff clinching scenario, definitely took it to the Patriots. They won 40-7. Definitely respect to Herbert. They look really good. None of us expected them to be here. Like nobody. Jim Harbaugh, new coach.
I think they did because of him coming in.
Not that
Jim
quick.
Harbaugh's good. Every year he comes in as a new coach. He's good for like +6 or +7 wins over what the team did the year before. It's fucking crazy.
I was actually I heard that same kind of general statistic today on a show like that. Basically, wherever he's at, like you said, he's good for a respectable season, like immediately, and that's kind of what
right
happened.
away. The first year, yeah.
I do recall you saying earlier in the season, you're like, oh yeah, they're not supposed to be good. They're supposed to be bad, and blah blah. So
I don't think they were supposed to be terrible. I mean, yes, every year he goes when he went to Stanford, they were like 3-9, and then they win like 7 games his first year or something like that. And then when he goes to San Francisco, they turned it around a little bit. And then when he went to Michigan the first year, obviously turns it around a bit. And so yeah, I expect them to be better 100%, but no one expected them to look this good with Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnston, and J.K. Dobbins, who's coming off of Achilles
First of all,
injury.
Lad McConkey is sneaky good.
Yeah.
Like really,
he's
good.
really good.
He's like top 10 in like receiving the whole league as a rookie. He's good. I know they played the Patriots, right? So recency bias, but are the Chargers sneaky good? Like, are they going to upset in the playoffs?
They're a threat too, for sure.
But no one's talking about it. And I feel like they could be kind of sneaky, not to go all the way, but like I think they could.
Well, they're going to have to play Baltimore or Pittsburgh. Probably Baltimore.
Yeah,
so
that Monday Night Football game when they did play, it was close, and it kind of got away from them.
Yeah,
because that was the game that J.K. Dobbins got hurt. So I mean,
yeah, I don't think anybody would really be picking them that game.
No.
But I don't think it'll be like a blowout either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So, but no, I mean, like seeing the Chargers obviously in the in the playoffs. It's fun. It's good for them. Good for the fan base and stuff. I do, as much as I don't care for Jim Harbaugh, got to give him his respect. In one calendar year, he won a championship with Michigan. Goes to a different league, goes to the NFL, and then takes the Chargers to the playoffs. Like that's mad respect.
There is a chance actually if Pittsburgh wins, or if Baltimore loses, Pittsburgh wins, that the Chargers go to Houston round 1.
Oh, damn.
So then, yeah, it could.
That would be So that would be a fun one I would like to see because I want to see the Chargers advance. And the other one, or the night one, real quick. Arizona at LA. Rams won that division. I mean, didn't look pretty, but they got it done. Division game at home. Kyler Murray, threw for. I don't know. It's always surprising when you see a quarterback throw for over 300 yards. You look at the scoreboard and like, oh, 6 points or 9 points or whatever it is. They lost 13-9. Rams are scary. I mean, personally, I think they can win they're going to get a home playoff game,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Sean
Could be
McVay's a great
sneaky.
coach. I could see them, especially at home too. They're not going to go anywhere. I could see them making at least getting one win. I don't. Can I see them coming out of the NFC? A lot of things would have to go right for them, and a lot of things have to go wrong for other teams. I wouldn't bet on it, but crazier things have
So
happened.
I think if the Bucks win and the Rams lose this week, they drop to the 4 seed, and then they would have to play Minnesota or Detroit round 1.
Mm.
But
See, I
if they
haven't
win
had
this
it.
week, if they beat Seattle, then they're playing either Washington or Green Bay.
I think it's what. Okay, yeah. See, I don't. We'll talk through the playoffs now because I don't have it all mapped out in my head. I
I'm
thought
just
the
looking at
Packers
the
were going to have to play
standings
the
right now.
Eagles, like probability wise. I thought the Packers were going to have to play the Eagles.
Not if Washington loses and the Packers win.
Okay, let's get into that
Um,
real quick. So if Washington wins this week against who?
Dallas.
And the Packers beat the Bears, knocking on wood. They don't
It
have
doesn't
either
matter what the
club.
Packers do after that if Washington wins.
Watch the Cowboys fuck up my season, dude. I swear to God.
I mean,
I'll
it's
hate you
highly
forever.
likely they lose
It's highly likely what? The Commanders lose?
that the Cowboys lose.
Oh. I'm not going to jinx anything. I'm not even going to say anything anymore.
They're in Dallas, so that makes it even more likely they lose.
um,
I want to remember you said this and make a mental screenshot and then revisit it.
It's entirely possible they win too. They already beat them this season, so
yeah, it's true.
Taking the bait.
The other Saturday game though, the one I want to talk about, that Broncos Bengals or Broncos at Bengals game, did go to overtime. This game was nuts and exciting from beginning to end, pretty much. I mean, our and the NFL's MVP Joe Burrow goes for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bo Nix looked pretty good too, man. Over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns as well. It did have 1 pick, but T. Higgins, man, give that man his money. He caught all 3
Soul.
touchdowns. He caught all 3
seriously.
tutties. I mean, he is getting the second DB because
And
Pat
still,
Surtain's lining up against Jamar Chase, but still catching 3 touchdowns in a game is tough. And some of his grabs, man, were hella nice.
I
super nice.
love that we're talking about the Bengals having a chance going into week 18. I freaking love it. They were so dead in the water.
The only thing that fucking sucks
No,
though, dude, is the Chiefs are benching all their players, and so the Broncos just have to beat the
yeah,
freaking Carson Wentz led
yeah.
backups.
They're minus 10 right now.
Oh my god.
It is any time for Carson Wentz to have a 2017 Carson Wentz game. I would
Well, the
love it
problem
if
is
the
the
Bengals.
Jets have to beat the Dolphins too.
Oh, they need the two legs of their things. They have to win, and those two things have to happen. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Who
And it
do the
sucks because
Bengals
like I
play
don't
week
want to.
18?
Bengals play the
They play
Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
It's a tall order.
It's probably not going to happen. It sucks because so Denver's kind of like a year ahead, or even 2. They were really not supposed to be here. So I
No,
wouldn't be super upset, even though like we all root for Bo Nix if they lost, because I really, really want to see Cincinnati in the playoffs like so bad. And I think that if they got in,
they could
they
totally
would
run the
go.
table.
Dude, they would go to Buffalo, and then they would have to go to Kansas City, and they could play like 100% spoiler. I think nobody wants to see them. Nobody.
Burrowhead, dude. Joe Burrow is the MVP. He just hasn't gotten talked about because the defense is bad.
Yeah.
All the defense has to do is just new season, start over. 3 games, man. 3 games to get to the dance. And you know Joe Burrow's going to ball out. Like, they could totally play spoiler. Totally.
I think they're an objective like better than all three of the current AFC wildcard teams right now.
Yes.
And we would want to see them in it the most.
100%.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
No, definitely a tall order, like you said. Just touching on this game, though. I mean, like the game itself was a lot of fun. I mean, dude, at halftime it was 7-3, Cincinnati. The final was 30-24. I mean, granted, it went to overtime, but still, 7-3 at half, 30-24 at the final. It was crazy. Cincinnati had few opportunities to like put it away early or late in the fourth. On their last drive, they could have easily ran out the clock and kicked a field goal to win it 27-24. They don't. They throw it like 2 or 3 times, and then they get a first down and then end up running. You know, it's that classic. They let them score. Great. Then they scored to make it 24-17. And our boy Bo Nix, the leads a great freaking game-tying drive. It's like a minute and a half drive to get Marvin Mims a freaking thread the needle touchdown pass,
Dude,
25
the
yards.
throws this guy makes,
They're pretty nasty, dude. For a rookie
they're
to be doing
insane.
that. I mean,
They're insane.
he's like a 29-year-old rookie because he was in college forever, but still.
Who cares? Who cares?
It's regardless that they lost, I think Denver looked really great. Bo Nix looked great. You know, the only thing was Denver's defense obviously couldn't you know, when a unstoppable force meets an immovable object, one of them's got to give, and unfortunately, it was the Denver defense that kind of gave. And Bengals got the win, keeps them alive.
Which, go ahead.
No, I say which keeps them alive, which is exciting. We would all love to see them in the playoffs because their offense is just so electric. It's so much fun, but a lot of things need to go right. Is it possible? Sure. Would everyone want it? Sure, but you know, fingers crossed, man. That's all I could say.
I thought Denver's defense did a great job, actually, because you held them to 10 going into the fourth quarter. They end up with 24. This is like number 1 offense in the league, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
They're up there at least. It really wasn't on them, I thought.
That's what I said. I
They
said
had,
someone just got to give, and they just kind of gave it
yeah,
at the last second, or not last second, like the last quarter. You know, they did great. They held them to 7 in 2 quarters, or 2.5 quarters, or whatever. So,
yeah.
but yeah, it sucks. Cincinnati's alive. Denver's alive too. All Denver needs to do is win and in, and they gotta beat Colts legend Carson Wentz, and Steelers. We will see. Yeah, that one was awesome. That one was crazy. That went to overtime too. I was like eating. I was like, oh, they're gonna kick the field goal. I was out at like a Christmas lunch, and I was like, oh, they'll kick the field goal right now. I saw him throwing the ball. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, just run out the clock, kick the field. You could end this game right now. Like, get the first down, and then move it to whatever hash your kicker wants it, kick it, and move on. And then Zach Taylor was like, no, let's throw it. And I was like, what, for fantasy purposes? What the fuck are you doing? Which is fine by me, I guess.
I definitely thought it was a mistake to not go for 2 at the end of the game. Usually I'd say, yeah, play for overtime, but you're playing Cincinnati and like Joe and Jamar and everybody, and you really want to give them the ball, even though it took them like all of overtime to score or whatever.
Yeah.
Still thought it was probably a better idea to just take your chance from 2 yards away when you know all you have to do is beat a Chiefs team that isn't going to play anybody next week anyways. Just go for 2 and win it now, you know?
I agree. That's good take. I mean, with an offense like that, you don't want their ball in their hands, right? You rather give the ball to Bo Nix and say, hey, look, we're gonna put this on you right now.
Yeah, especially giving up, 14 points in the fourth. You're like, okay, we're at that point where we can't keep up with them now. Let's just try to end the game right now.
So, but Denver still got a chance, and Bo Nix looks good. I was like, man, rookie of the year for sure. And then Jaden Daniels comes out last night. I was like, fuck, there's my boy, baby.
Ah,
My
Um,
gosh.
so yeah, definitely that was an awesome one for some Saturday football. I do love some Saturday football. I know Jaller and I talked about that. Sunday, I mean, matchups weren't that good. I mean, obviously we're late in the season. It's either playoff teams or crap on crap shit ass teams. Kind of ran through the scores already. The only one I wanted to make the joke about or talk about real quick was the Indy at Giants game. You know, Anthony Richardson's out, so Flacco's in. Don't care about that. I'm over it. I just think it's hilarious that the Giants are the asses of all ass teams, and when you want them to lose so they can get the first pick, they literally jump like 3 spots. I think they're 4th now.
yeah, yeah. This is
You know
almost
who's
as
not ass
egregious
though?
as
Drew Lock.
he's not. He should be their quarterback moving forward now. This is
Well,
almost as bad as I don't know if you remember, but like a few years back, I think it was like 2020, the Jets beat the Rams at home at the end of the year to lose the pick for Trevor Lawrence
Mm-hmm.
and instead got Zach Wilson that year.
Yep, I do remember that.
I don't know that this is as bad as that because they definitely should have lost that game and the Rams were really, really good that year or whatever, Colts or whatever. And there's really nobody coming out of the draft that's like, oh, Trevor Lawrence at the time was generationally like
right. So we
crazy, right?
thought
Right.
second coming of Peyton
Um,
Manning. It was like,
but
you know,
this is still really bad. Like they should have like done everything they could to lose this
The
game.
like I
Giants, the
said,
Giants have
look at their past
scored.
scores. When was the last time they scored 45 points collectively? Right, like two
They haven't done
months.
Giants,
it this year.
the Giants have scored over 20 points 3 times this season. They scored 21 in a win against the Browns. They scored 29 in a win against the Seahawks, and they scored 22 in a Commanders loss.
This is their first home win this year.
Yep, last home game
I,
too,
I
because
meant
they.
to say, like, if you add up their last few scores, right? How many games did it take them to score a total of 45 points?
I can tell you right now, 21,
32.
32, last 4 games
So
pretty
it took
much.
them
I
4
know.
games.
Yeah, 4 games. Yeah, still, that's bad.
So it's hilarious. You always expect the Giants to do something stupid at the end of the season, and here it is, comedy. Colts are down bad. I don't know if you guys saw. Right, I sent it to you. Pat McAfee's tweet just freaking going
Yeah.
murdering the Colts. Rightfully
It's
so.
too harsh.
That's the sentiment, man. I mean,
I
if
was
you
watching the show live to see if he would talk about it. Because I had a minute and he wasn't talking about it. So I
uh
didn't hear what he had to say
uh
about it today.
yeah, I mean definitely the sentiment for sure, you know, the Colts, like I was hoping for something really, for lack of better words, like bad, or for us to do something really stupid at the end of the season to like hopefully in the offseason make some like egregious like moves, like fire Ballard, I don't know, hire a new GM, something like that. Fire Steichen, I don't care. Just switch a lot of things up. OC, you know, get rid of Jim Bob Cooter, fucking like defensive coordinator, like trash. We have the third worst rushing defense. I think probably top 10 worst defense overall. Offense looks abysmal throughout the season as well. So it's definitely the
Isn't
sentiment. I want
this
it's
like not the first time that the Colts lost a game? Like, didn't they lose to like Jacksonville at the end of the year a couple years ago or something, where they were supposed to get in the
It was
playoffs
like week
yes,
17,
and they
I
lost
think.
some
Yeah.
crazy games that were like against really shit teams
they lost to the
to
Raiders at
not make the
home and
playoffs.
at Jacksonville, week 17, week 18. Carson Wentz didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, this feels eerily similar. Like,
Yeah,
because
it was
Yep,
so the
last week of the
Colts were
season.
actually the top of the 3 teams that were like in the hunt, right? So
correct.
all they needed,
Winning
I don't
in.
know if they was it if Denver lost this week and the Colts won, would they be the ones that are in right now?
No.
No, they were still on the outside looking in. They needed Denver to lose twice. Okay. See, but Cincinnati would have needed the Colts and the Dolphins and the Broncos to all lose to get in.
Yeah.
They were like the first one in line, basically.
So, but I was waiting for, like I said, I was waiting for them to do something stupid, and this was it. Give up freaking 45 points to the Drew Lock of the Giants, and even they won last week. They gave up 30 to Mason Rudolph. Like that, nail in the coffin for the season. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. Like I don't care what happens next week anyway. So, um, yeah, moving on to the other last two games that were really good and really important. Obviously, Green Bay at Minnesota. I was golfing, so I did not get to watch this game. I was just kind of checking out my phone. It didn't look close for a while. Every time I looked, it was like Green Bay was
It
down by
wasn't.
at least a score. Every time I looked, it was like 10-3,
Until Jolly
10-0.
texted.
Damn.
I had
So
to make a desperate move.
so it looks like it was 13-3 at half. What were you feeling? What were you feeling at half, Joller?
Well, at half I was pissed off because LaFleur didn't take the short field goal early in the game. It was 7-3. They go for instead of kicking a field goal would have put them up 7-6, down by one, with like a ton of time to play. Go for it, don't get it. Next drive, Minnesota scores. Now you're up by 2 scores plus, Then you're playing catch up the rest of the game. It's like we say this all the time. When coaches make decisions to go for two or to like not take the points when you need to take the points early in the game, it's like incredibly frustrating, right? So that was kind of a turning point, and then they were just playing catch up the rest of the game. Josh Jacobs early fumble hasn't happened like all season, just bad luck. I think it's played good though. I mean, sucks to say it, but I think they are actually like scary good. Packers still haven't beaten a good team all year. It's disheartening. I don't know. Thought they didn't play their best game. Jordan Love didn't do much in the first half. Offense was pretty bad. Not what you want to see heading into the playoffs, but who knows?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy that they actually haven't beat, and it's kind of like no knock on them that okay, your only losses are Detroit, Minnesota, Philly, but it's also like okay, your best wins are maybe like Seattle and Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about that? How's your confidence
Well, week
level going
one,
into the
well, week one,
playoffs?
if you remember the Eagles game in fucking Brazil or shitty ass field,
I remember.
dropped a
Yeah.
wide open touchdown pass. It was a perfect throw and he slipped on the ass turf. That was a touchdown that never happened. That would have been the game. For week one, whatever. Uh, Eagles have gotten exponentially better since then. Uh, Minnesota's good. The first time they played him was without Jordan Love. He was hurt. They played the Lions tight twice. So they've hung in right in there with all these good teams. They just haven't finished, After the Lions game a few weeks ago, I was encouraged actually because it doesn't really affect seeding, but it showed that they can hang with like the best team in the NFC, I thought at the time.
I thought they were
And
going to
then
win that
this
game.
week, what?
I thought they could have easily won that game.
Yeah, and they just didn't. And like now, like this game looked close at the end, but like they didn't play their best game at all, especially in the first half. If you watched it, it was just not good. So it's kind of like they're good. How good are they? They kind of like, hey, maybe they're really good. So like, hey, maybe they're not so good. Who knows? But I don't know. We'll see. It'll be. I hope they don't have to go to Philly in the wild card. That would be. It's like the worst case scenario. So
What it's looking
it's kind of what
like.
I'm hoping for at this point.
But it's still a close game against a tough opponent. Me, I scored two touchdowns late in the fourth to kind of make keep that score close. So, and Green Bay's obviously already in. Minnesota's fighting for that number one seed too. So it'll be exciting to see where they lie. And Jordan Love, no interceptions again, another upside, but
Yeah, he's
got to
thrown
give
like
that.
8 touchdowns, no picks the last 3-4 games. He's really cleaned it up the last month. And to
But
just kind of have like a flat performance is not in a big game is just not what you want to see.
But I mean, shout out Sam Darnold, man. 377, three touchdowns. I mean, it's looking good.
He's third
Looking
in the
good.
league in passing yards.
Yeah. He's got some MVP bets, I bet, across the board. I'd
Hmm.
sprinkle some. Uh so we'll see.
Kevin O'Connell,
Final
Coach of the Year, though. Give him props.
yeah.
Yeah.
Last one, Atlanta, Washington. Atlanta obviously fighting for that NFC South division winner, because the loser is not going to make the wild card, so you have to win to get in. For between Atlanta and Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay won big early in the day, so Atlanta was hoping to keep pace because they do hold the tiebreaker since they swept them this season with Kirk Cousins. Obviously, Michael Penix gets his second start. Looks a lot better. I mean, I know they won last week, but they did play the Giants, and I believe Atlanta's defense scored like 2 or 3 touchdowns last week. But this game went to overtime, so it needed some extra time. It was really good. Washington comes out with the win at home, 30-24. It was a win and get in for Jaden Daniels, which was awesome to see him, kick ass. He was throwing the ball really well, was making some good decisions running. His interception was pretty bad, but he kind of shook it off and, come back. He had, 350 yards total between passing and rushing. And it was funny because like all over like Twitter and stuff, it's the fantasy football championship. So everyone was like, "Oh, scary Terry, baby! He had 1 catch for 5 yards." I was like,
Yeah.
just comedy. But he had like 8 targets, and all the joke was like, "Dude, he's throwing to him these like dog shit balls, so somebody else can win fantasy." And it was Olamide Zacchaeus who was
Yep.
the top receiver in yards, and freaking big
Zach
man
Ertz.
Zach Ertz with 2 tutties, dude, with the overtime game winner. You'd love to see it.
The ball.
He's married to my girl Julie Ertz on the women's national soccer team for US too. Shout out Julie Ertz. Washington gets it done, gets them into the playoffs. Exciting for Jaden Daniels, and for all of us here in the Inland Empire. We love to see it. I got to text his dad and say, "Hey, congrats! Can we go? Where's the tickets at?" So we love to see it. 30-24. They do win. Falcons aren't dead yet. They do have a week 18 game. Michael Penix didn't look that bad. I mean, over 200 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. There was some game management, time management at the end that was kind of weird. For the what's the Falcons coach name? I'm blanking. I can see him. He wears his freaking hat. I know what he looks like.
Dan.
It's not Dan.
No, it's
Raheem something? Raheem
Raheem
Morris.
Morris.
Thank you. There was some time management things. Should have called the timeout and kick a field goal. Dan Quinn's the Washington. Dan Quinn should be up for Coach of the Year, man. Rookie quarterback.
I think you said Washington. I wasn't paying attention. That's why I said that.
Did you?
But Dan Quinn should be up there for rookie quarterback or for Coach of the Year with a rookie quarterback. I guess my only thing on this one, they were comparing Jaden Daniels to RG3. Like, oh, RG3 took, the Redskins to this playoffs his first year. I think 10 wins or whatever, which was great. And it was kind of all downhill after that. And obviously, he passed the rushing record for the rookie for quarterbacks as well in that game last night. So they're kind of putting the side by side. They're built a little bit differently. RG3 is a little more stockier. Obviously, Jaden Daniels looks like a twig out there. I think Jaden Daniels is faster, but I think Jaden Daniels is smarter with the ball and is more accurate than RG3 was.
That wasn't his problem, though. He just took so much punishment because he ran the ball so much.
Yeah. I remember watching that game when he got hurt. I think me and my dad were like, he's gonna get hurt, dude. And I like the next freaking play he gets hurt because he's just Shanahan's running him like a madman. What could have been?
I don't know. It's eerily similar, but hopefully Hopefully it doesn't end up like that.
No, yeah, hopefully, yeah. I was looking at his. Oh, he had 9. I thought they had 10 wins his rookie year. They had 9 wins, and they got in as a wild card. He had 20
Really?
touchdowns. He had 20 touchdowns and 5 RG3 had 20 touchdowns and
Hmm.
5 picks in his uh,
I thought for sure
rookie.
they had 10 wins.
I thought it was 10 wins too. Um, oh well, it says
Was it
did he?
2012?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
They had 10-6. I think he got hurt and sat out a game. Maybe that's why they were 10-6.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds more.
He
Yeah.
went 9-6. It looks like he sat out a game. But he had 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and then the next year he had 12 interceptions. And then after that, he only played like 9 games, and then it was all downhill
It was
after that.
never the same.
Yeah, never the same, obviously. So you never want that. Hopefully, Jaden. I mean, he's been smart. He hasn't gotten hit like hard. I mean, he had that rib injury, whatever, but it was kind of a odd injury. But he was fine. Mariota came in that one game and just destroyed, and all
Lit
was
it
good.
up
All was good.
as he does.
So yeah, Washington's in. Love to see where. Obviously, not going to be hosting. They'll be visiting somewhere in the playoffs, but curious to see where they're going to end up.
Maybe by next year they will be the Redskins again.
That'd be cool.
One can only hope.
So before I want to have some questions I wanted to ask you guys, but before we'll kind of look for till next week, some of the games that actually do matter for going into Week 18, last week of the season. Obviously, the games on Saturday do matter. Cleveland at Baltimore, it's the AFC North matchups. Cleveland at Baltimore, and then Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Baltimore and Pittsburgh are still fighting for that first place spot, and Cincinnati's fighting to get in the playoffs. So they need to win plus some other stuff, but it starts Saturday. Cincinnati's season can end before the games on Sunday even start.
Mm-hmm.
I can't personally. I can't see Pittsburgh dropping 4 in a row.
Really? I can't see them
I
winning.
can.
I honestly can't see them winning this game.
Bengals are hot, dude. Their offense is too
With the Bengals not knowing what's going to happen.
good. And this is life or death for the Bengals. The Steelers,
Yeah.
they're still in.
They're favored on the road right now.
That's wild,
Yeah.
actually.
I don't know. I just have a feeling, because I think the hype's all there too, and the offense is like clicking, and it's gonna be one of those off ones, like off games, like
Browns cover though.
minus 18.
Yeah. Browns cover that.
Oh my
Is it
god.
really minus? I gotta look at
Yeah.
Yahoo confirm.
It's 17 and a half right now.
That's ridiculous. What is it? Dorian Thompson Robinson put it in freaking.
No way they start him, right?
They have to. They are.
Jameis isn't
They
hurt,
are.
right? Is James hurt?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean you might as well, right? You're trying to lose anyway.
17 and a half. This is by far the biggest spread of the season.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yikes.
Yeah, I
Winston
honestly
was the
I
number
don't
3.
see.
Oh, he has a
Go ahead.
shoulder injury.
Oh, he does. That makes more sense. I honestly I don't see Cincinnati losing next week. I could be totally wrong, but
Do you know who the Browns' backup is behind DTR?
no.
Bailey Zappi, Patriots
No
legend.
way, really?
Put him in, baby. Have a
God,
legendary
why is
game
he his
against the.
backup, man? He's a quality backup guy.
So yeah, I can't see Pittsburgh dropping 4 in a row. But also, yeah, I can't see Baltimore dropping to Cleveland. DTR led Cleveland. That's ass. But still, it's at 5:00, a Saturday night football game. It'll be fun to watch. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. We'll definitely all be watching that. We will all be watching that one. Pertaining to the games on Sunday that actually matter. Obviously, there's no Monday night games, so the season ends Sunday night. Carolina at Atlanta. Atlanta has to win. Atlanta has to win. Tampa Bay has to lose. Right? If they both win, Tampa Bay's in.
Tampa Bay's winning in, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Falcons lose, they're in.
Or Falcons lose. Okay, got it. They both play at 10. Obviously, that makes sense. So that'll be fun. I like when they play at the same time. So that's cool. I mean, they're both going up. Obviously, they're all division games this week too. They're going up against the other Carolina and New Orleans, who were both trash. But here's a good question for you: for the Tampa Bay Atlanta game. Carolina's playing Atlanta, uh, and New Orleans is playing Tampa Bay. Out of those two, which one can you see upsetting the other? New Orleans upsetting Tampa Bay, or
Carolina.
yeah, Carolina
Yeah.
upsetting? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Bucks are favored by what right now?
13.
13? Yeah.
Um, so those are good ones to watch. Those would be fun. And then was it Kansas City at Denver, and we kind of touched on it. Denver's winning in. Uh, Andy Reid already came out, this week saying he's sitting everyone. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but did you see from their last game, because they played on Christmas, and until the divisional round, it's 24 days.
Oh, yep.
It's fucking a month. That's a month.
It's actually not good, I think.
No,
Really?
I don't think that amount of rest is good. No. No.
Rusty?
I dude, I always think of
injuries
the
and
rusty
stuff. Yeah,
thing. Like the well, I think like yeah, you can get healthy, but you're just rusty.
And, okay, I agree. The rust, and for a team like KC, of how they play this whole season, they're going to need 8 quarters to get the rust off because they play. They don't come out hot in any of these games.
Yeah. And they're gonna have that rest too, because we already know that they're not playing anybody. So it'll be interesting to see. Because they'll get the lowest seed that comes out of wild card weekend,
Yeah.
which we think might be maybe the Chargers. That'd be a fun one.
KC plays Denver back-to-back weeks or what?
That'd be cool too.
that would be
Awesome.
cool.
So that one definitely one to watch, especially if you're, Bengals fan. If Bengals win on Saturday, your next one would be to buy a Colts Carson Wentz jersey. And then yeah, those are ones. And then the Sunday night one, man. I mean, we talked about it, I think 6 or 7 weeks ago. I think I mentioned it, or I was like, dude, it's gonna come down. The division's gonna come down to week 18. Not only is it the division coming down week 18, fucking the number 1 seed coming down week 18. That's nuts.
I mean, you can see it coming for like a month now, right? Like the way both teams have been playing, and then the schedule, like the last 3 weeks, all the different
But you
games.
expect one of them to give, right? Like, oh, maybe they'll
I
drop like 1 or
thought
2.
No, I thought this would happen like a month ago. It wasn't surprising me.
no, I thought that Minnesota would lose one of these last 3 games because it was Seattle, Green Bay, Detroit. And I thought Green Bay was kind of that get them game.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be the game that they lost.
And the Packers just didn't play well, so
Yeah.
There's
So, but
literally gonna
now
be
I think they have a legit shot.
there's gonna be a 14-win team going somewhere, like
Yeah, yeah.
playing an away
There's
game.
lots of talk around the whole, oh, it should be division winner shouldn't matter. It should all be seeding based on win-loss and do it like the NBA does it. Um,
No,
because of this, because you have the 14-win team going to wherever. You know what I mean?
that's why they're so. That changed the whole, because they play the division, 1 home, 1 away. Like that's the whole reason. That's why the head-to-heads matter. That's why, I mean, Colts are ass, or that's why the Atlanta Tampa Bay
I
one's so
mean,
important.
it all
I
still
get.
matters, right? So the head-to-head still matters. If you're seeding 1 through 7, and you have the top 2, head-to-head still matters. I
Yeah,
don't know. I think it is dumb though that like Minnesota may have to go to the Rams next week. I think that's dumb.
If that happens, could you see the Rams playing spoiler? I know earlier you were saying that the
Yeah,
Rams
yeah.
are kind
And it
scary.
will happen. One of them will have to either go to Tampa Bay or the Rams, most likely,
I don't know
assuming Tampa Bay wins.
off the top of my head between the Rams and the Bucks. I feel like the Rams more scary right now. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and they'll probably beat Seattle, which means that whoever loses next week's game, Minnesota or Detroit, will have to go to Tampa Bay. But it's still kind of they don't just have to go to Tampa Bay; they also have to go on the road the next week and the week after that to get to the Super Bowl. And I think that's a little bit retarded.
They're getting the Oregon treatment.
They're getting the Oregon treatment, yeah, yeah. Except
Dude,
Oregon
shut
was the
up.
actual number one seed.
It's kind of similar. It's only, I mean,
Now grow up.
edit all that out.
I just think that having a 14-win team go to a possibly 9-win team on the road is stupid.
You're stupid.
Is that not stupid?
No.
It totally makes sense from like an emotional standpoint. Like I agree, but also it's like you can't control. Actually, I can't even make a good argument against it. I thought I had a train of thought against it, but now that it's coming out of my mouth, I don't think I can.
That doesn't make sense. You're not just gonna have that though. Like you could have not just a 14-win team going on the road against a 9 or 10-win team. You could have a 12-win team going on the road against another 10-win team. So if Washington wins, they're gonna go on the road and play a team that has less wins than they do. You're gonna
Green
have two
Bay.
teams doing that. Same with Green Bay.
Yeah.
If they win and Washington loses.
So,
I just think, yeah, it's just dumb.
no ways. But, yeah. Well, then write to the commissioner and see if he could change it for you.
They won't because they're stupid.
All
They don't
right.
know
So,
anything.
we'll just do right now, if the playoffs or if the season ended right now and the standings stood as they are, I'll ask you guys both. So, Chiefs get the bye. We'll do AFC first. Just kind of real quick, kind of just win or lose scenario. Don't have to tell me why. Chiefs get the bye. 7 seed is Broncos are in. Broncos visit Buffalo. Who wins?
Buffalo.
Buffalo for both. Cool. I'm just writing your guys' answers. All right, cool. Buffalo wins, and then 6 seed be Chargers. Chargers visit Ravens.
Ravens.
Baltimore. Okay. Damn, no faith in Jim Harbaugh, huh? And then Pittsburgh visits Houston.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I'll have to.
I'm more
Pittsburgh.
confident in the Steelers than I am the Ravens. If those
Really?
games, yeah. So like if those games, like I would pick the Chargers over the Texans that week, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. And then Pittsburgh then visits KC in the divisional round.
Kansas City. I think we already saw that.
It's in KC.
KC. And then Buffalo, Baltimore. In Buffalo.
See, that's the one. It sucks because I don't want to pick like all chalk, but I feel like I would lean towards Buffalo.
Okay. For NFC, I'm going to give you 2 seconds to answer instead of thinking about your whole thoughts. So, Joller, you give me an answer.
I know it's easy, but I would say Buffalo too. I was going to say last year I thought Buffalo was so good. When the Chiefs came in, I was like, "This is Buffalo's year to do it."
Right.
Right.
And who's coming out of the AFC?
Buffalo. I think that it's also because of Baltimore's like playoff history and Lamar's playoff history and not being good in these games.
That's exactly correct. And I felt the same way last year with Baltimore. I thought they were so much better than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Going into
All
that
they had
game,
to do
I
is
thought
run the ball.
it was a no-brainer to me. The Chiefs or the Ravens, I thought were just objectively better in every way, and they totally laid an egg. And I was like, "Here we are, a year later. They look awesome again." But like, until they do it, you know what I mean? Like, I have to see it when it matters most.
And to be fair, like you haven't seen the best out of Buffalo in the playoffs either, but they've been losing to Kansas City and Cincinnati
They've had
the year they
close
went to the Super
games.
Bowl. And yeah, it's been competitive and it's just been a little different, I think, for Baltimore.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. Then we move on to NFC. just quick answers. If the playoffs ended or if the season ended right now, Green Bay 7th seed visits Philly.
Green
Philly.
Bay by a million, obviously.
Do you actually think that, or like if you had to like bet your actual house, what would you?
I don't gamble, so I can't answer that. I think the Packers
Just
slowly could
fucking answer
win.
the question.
Packers
He
can
did.
do
He
it.
said Green Bay.
Packers will do it. Write this down.
Washington visits LA.
LA.
Rams.
I think
You both said
Stafford,
LA.
crunch time.
Yeah, and then Washington. Excuse me. Sorry, Minnesota visits Tampa Bay.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, now Green Bay
Which sucks,
survives.
but
Lions. Well, for Joller, I guess. Lions Packers.
Packers could definitely win that game.
Okay.
They came into this twice. It's hard to
if
beat a team 3 times in a season. We talked
if
about
if
this.
if that happens, the Packers win that game.
No, you're on a different tree. Sorry, Justin.
I know, but if that happens, I'm telling you, I agree, they win that game.
Lions Vikings would be yours.
Minnesota.
Dang.
Really?
Okay, and then
I hate to say it. Yeah, Minnesota.
Rams, and
It's
then
really like
Rams,
next week's pick, but
Rams Philly.
um,
Sorry, Rams what?
For you, Justin, Rams Philly.
give me a second.
3, 2,
Rams.
1.
Rams.
Damn.
Really?
Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
much he hates the Eagles, dude.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Joller?
Eagles, dude. They're way better.
All right, and then for Joller, you have Eagles Packers for your NFC Championship.
Packers.
Okay, and Joller, Rams Minnesota.
Minnesota. Minnesota's too good, dude. I hate it. Minnesota.
You have 3 seconds. 3,
Minnesota.
2.
I
said Justin.
Oh, you said Joller.
Oh, my bad.
said Dollar.
My bad. Rams Minnesota.
Oh man.
3.
Give me fucking Sam Darnold
2.
in the Super Bowl, man. Give it to me. Give it to me. I want it. I need it.
Damn.
I feel about the Vikings how I felt about the Cardinals at the beginning of the year.
How
That's how I
convenient.
feel right now.
First time hearing
Damn.
it.
So you have Minnesota
Nope.
coming out of the
I've been on
NFC.
them all year.
You have Minnesota coming out of the NFC as a wild card too, no less. Does your stance change if they win next week and get the 1 seed?
Why would it change?
No.
It'll just cause affirmation.
So how it could change, I think, is say Washington beats the Rams and now Washington goes to Philly. I think Washington probably loses that game, and now you have Philly playing. Wait, who is it? Philly playing Detroit. Maybe Detroit wins that game, and now it's Detroit, Minnesota, NFC Championship game. And that's like a super toss up. I don't know. I want to pick Minnesota. It's just
Yeah, I
Detroit has
like it.
so many injuries, dude.
No,
They have so many injuries, and I hate Philly, and I don't think they're good enough, and I think the Rams can beat them. So,
let's
what
go,
is it?
baby. I'm
Rams,
stoked.
Rams, Vikings.
Yeah.
Dude, it's such a because are the Rams? I haven't been like following, but are they healthy now?
Yes.
Are they still dealing with shit?
I can tell you who's on their injured list right now.
Like Cooper Cup, Puka, like everybody's playing right now.
Yeah.
Dude, Rams could definitely go. They could be like that team this year. I'm just gonna pick Minnesota, man. They've been disrespected all year. I want them in it.
Dude, offensive tackle Rob Havenstein is out.
Yeah, actually, the Rams are gonna lose.
Now that you mentioned it.
Nah, dude, they're
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah, I hate saying it too, like Minnesota. It feels like they caught lightning in a bottle. because like no one expected them to be this good. They haven't flamed out. They're just riding the wave. I don't want to say there's no pressure, but there's kind of no pressure. You know, like it doesn't feel like they have the pressure as a lot of other teams do.
I think the problem is them having to go on the road to Philly is a problem. So I think that they this week is massive. Winning this week is massive for them.
It'll be fun. I'm excited. Like the playoff implications.
What
Thank
about you?
God
Let's
it's
go.
in
Let's go.
Detroit.
Let's go.
Thank
Let's
God.
go back and have Zach do his. Oh wait, we have Super Bowl, right? What is it? Buffalo, Minnesota for me.
Yeah.
I would pick Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo, Green
Who did
Bay,
you have?
dude.
Packers by a
I
million.
mean, put my life on it, dude. That's a tall order. I'm not gonna lie. That's a tall order. Also, though,
I
side note,
just, dude.
Vikings Bills Super Bowl would feed generations, dude. That is like America's Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
Objectively,
I,
that would be legendary.
dude, I'm looking at what the Detroit defense is giving up, and it's crazy, man. Like 34 to San Francisco, 48 to
Who's
Buffalo,
defense?
31 to Green Bay.
You talking the
Detroit's
Lions or what?
defense,
Oh,
yeah, their
wicked.
defense is like crazy injuries, and they can't stop anybody. And Minnesota's defense is nothing to like sneeze at. Somebody's PS5 just turned on.
Mine's not plugged
Okay,
in.
like
I heard it. I heard it.
I'm trying to get off, man. I'm trying to get on right now. Let's go. Let's run it.
Yeah. All right, Zach. Here we go. Okay, so um, Kansas City's on the bye. Buffalo, Denver,
Buffalo,
Baltimore, Chargers.
LA,
I can see that. Pittsburgh, Houston.
Pittsburgh,
And now the Chargers go to Kansas City.
Chargers.
Okay. And the
we are
Pittsburgh
so
goes to
out of
Buffalo.
Houston. It's crazy.
What was it? Sorry, Joller coughed in my
Pittsburgh.
fucking ear.
I can't stop, dude. I didn't call if I interrupted you. That's difference.
Pittsburgh has to go to Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Wait. Hang on. Is that right? Chargers had to go to Baltimore. And you said Chargers would win. Yeah, so Chargers go to Kansas City. You picked the Chargers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Pittsburgh goes to Buffalo.
Buffalo. So Chargers,
So
Buffalo,
now you have
LA,
Chargers,
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
AFC Championship, Buffalo's going to come out. Yeah.
Okay, so you have Buffalo coming out also. Did
Yeah.
did y'all have Buffalo coming out? Do we all have Buffalo coming out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That means bet the house on the Chiefs right now.
No shit, dude. Philly, Green Bay.
Damn. This one's almost Philly.
Okay. Washington, LA.
Washington.
Saw that coming.
Minnesota, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Saw that coming too. Doesn't believe
Okay, so
this.
now you have what is it?
Doesn't believe it.
Philly. Wait, you said Tampa Bay? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, so now you have Washington, Detroit, right?
Yes, Detroit.
Okay, and then you have Tampa Bay and Philly. Right? I think that's right. Tampa Bay and Philly.
Tampa Bay.
God, dude. Okay, this fucking guy. Okay, so you have Detroit and Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game, right?
Detroit.
Okay, so Detroit, Buffalo, Super Bowl. Who wins?
Buffalo. 48
Wow.
to like 44.
Wow. Wait, Wait, hang on. Did
Hammer
John?
the
Did we pick
over.
Buffalo also?
We did, yeah.
So we all picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl. It was guaranteed to not happen.
No, if you guys also agree, then it cancels out my jinx. That's how it works.
You can't text anything these playoffs.
Well, you
You're
heard it here
banned from your
first.
fucking
I'm
phone.
turning off my phone during the Packers game. I'm not even gonna not respond. I'm turning off my phone. You will not be able to reach me.
At least you get free football, man. Extra football, so it's exciting
If
for
I
you.
was your only emergency contact left on Earth, you wouldn't be able to reach me because my phone's gonna be turned off.
That could be like the Saturday game in the wild card round.
Well, you heard it here first. We'll be back next week to kind of recap and go over recap the final few games that mattered, and then kind of preview what the playoffs are going to look like, since everything will be all said and done next Sunday night. Since there's no Monday games, but you heard it here first. All three of us picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl if the playoffs end today, or if the season ended today, excuse me. But the season isn't over. Still one more week to figure out some seeding arrangements and one division for what it's worth. So we'll definitely be here, excited to see how the season ends, where everyone ends up, and what the matchups are going to be. And we will be here to talk about it. So in the meantime, have a happy and fun, safe New Year for everyone. Don't drink and drive. Use Uber code 1. I'm just kidding. Don't use that. That's not a real code. But be safe. Use Uber and Lyft for what it's worth, and have fun and a safe, happy New Year. And we will see you all in a week from now. Later, players.
Yeah.
Go Ducks.
Go Pat.